Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ivan Ethos, and welcome back to my live stream today, where we're going to be showing off the next part of the Myst game I was already playing. Now, I went back in my off time and quickly did the mechanical age because people who were watching before probably saw I got through the mechanical age, and then my game crashed as I was trying to get to the sledding. The rocks, which has all the constellations and stuff. So I have the red page here. We're going to listen to the red book, and then we're going to go back and do the blue page for the other book.
Have returned. Additional page. Leave from my prison on this forgotten island of Myst. I see that you are. I am called Sirius. I need all the red pages. I must search and bring two more for the red pages. I am released. I promise. Don't touch the blue pages. That is where my blood. For my wicked brother. He is a man of distorted mind and senses. He disgusts me. Do not release Machina. Thirst for destruction is not. Never ending. Bring the red page. You please release me from this prison. Promise you will be greatly rewarded. Must help me.
Yeah, I don't trust a person like that with an inch of my life. Alright, time to go get the other blue page. I could just hop along myself. Doobly doop bump a doobly a. I wish this animation could be skipped. You know, this is a 25th anniversary game. You'd think they would have found a way to say, oh, by the way, after you've watched this once, you can skip it. Yay! Or would have added in some really cool sound effects while you're rotating around it. That would have been cool. Okay. I was gonna say, I tried to re-enter it again. I mean, I have the notebook here. Went as Sirius's when you go back. Not that hard to find. Nope, that's a body. That's a brain. There's the blue page. I mean, it's pretty much an electrified. Oh god, it's disturbing. Nope. Can I not go back into that room? That would be really nice. Thank you, game. Go. Alright. Blue page 10. Okay, now we're going to hear from Akonar's perspective.
Good. More pages you find. Bring more. You must have some more. All I ask of you. It's so long since my brother, Sirius, wrongfully imprisoned me within this book. Stupid schemes. Pretty speech. Greed, which is endless. is to you. He's done evil and he has destroyed all before. Do not bring the red pages to him. Not let him trick you. He tricked our father. Hideously murdered our father. He'll trick you. He'll murder you. Don't touch the red pages. I beg you, bring the blue pages. To me, listen, you must obey me. The pages are my only hope. You must help me. You must help me.
Okay. He's a little bit nutso too. And the knowledge that I possess about this game's universe kind of helps me a little bit here. Now, normally, if I had viewers, I will ask them what particular age I'm going to go to next. I have a pretty good idea of where I want to go myself. God, that's loud. Oh, boy. Because that's particularly where it's supposed to be. We'll see whether the game is just graphically glitching or not. Cool. Into the back room we go. Library. Up to the tower. Now, theoretically, I don't need to have the red line for it to tell me the key that I have to remember for this particular one. Theoretically, at least. Yep, it's pointing at the Channelwood. So Channelwood is our next age. Channelwood is a fairly simple one as long as you pay attention to water. So 724 is my code. And that's the code for the safe inside the cabin, which is near Channelwood. And this is where things get annoyingly tricky, because the mechanical age, yes, you have to pull the levers in the right order. That's a little bit tricky, but not as annoying as the constellations. Thank you. No. Not as annoying as the constellations, the dates and times and everything for the rocks, but it's all about timing. Channelwood's all about timing. There's butterflies. I forgot there was. Beep. Beep. Alrighty, Roo. 7, 2. Ooh, nope, too far, too far. 2, 4. There we go. Alright, let's find, if I remember correctly, it's a lot of this. There it is, there it is, there it is. Oh. Ah! I did it! Like I said, it's all about timing in this particular instance. Alright. We are on our way to Channel. Hello, viewer. The silence of running around Channelwood. Not so, it's gonna be a lot of water pressure. Okay, so let's see here. Let's see if my brain remembers this particular puzzle. Okay. I think that's all the ones I have to do there. Yep, all good. Go up the little rocky road. Did I already do something without realizing it? Let's find out. No, because... Oh, probably a long time ago someone did. It's hard to say. That? Do. Oh. Oh. Because I'm a dum-dum. Now the water's flowing. There we go. Nope. Okay, so that's clearly where that one's going. You might be correct about that. It's been a long time since I've actually had a look at that one. There we go. And then I need to extend that. And now I have a way of getting back. Because this, if I remember correctly, is the way home. Now to rechannel the water in the correct place. It is called Channel Wood. Oop, nope. There we go. Right. Have to close the door. I'll be reading the journal about Channelwood after I get Channelwood complete. The annoying thing about this place is just how many different directions you can go. Before you find that one little place that you actually need to go to in order to make it all work. Ah! There it is. Well, yeah, I suppose that's one way of looking at it. The interesting thing to me is that in all of these ages where there were supposed to be people, there are no more people anymore. I have played Real Myst, yes. I have the 25th anniversary editions of all the games. Or up we go. Part of my channel will be playing through each one of the games in turn, although I'm not looking forward to doing the next one, Riven, because Riven is hard. It's so disturbing to listen to him do that. It's even more disturbing to know that that's what people put like their heads into or their faces. Nope. Nope.
I hope I pushed the right button, my dear. What a very interesting device you have here. I'm not erasing anything important, am I? Remember, he is preparing. Take only one page, my dear brother.
And there's the blue page. Once you know where that switch is, that is also true about the door. I actually kind of like about it, but can I go in and jump? One of the things I think is most interesting about this game is just how everything ties together. But in the very first game, one of the things that's really kind of funny is that it's not canon anymore. Like the prison ages aren't really canon. If you read the books, how they do the prison ages is much different than how they were done in this particular game. There we go. Nope. Nope. There we go. There's the new stage. Woo! New page number 3. 4.
Oh, my friend. Bring in the blue pages. I see. Convinced Cirrus is guilty. Pray, do not release him. He will destroy me just to see him. Innocent bystander. been wrongfully tricked into imprisonment. You have observed his unbridled lust for riches. In the 4 remaining worlds, some plot, it was almost perfect. Final blow to father. It tricked him into believing that it was I who was the murderer. I didn't murder father.
The Uru clan was, really?
Bring me the remaining. Please. A liar. Fooling a liar. Must not be free. Remaining blue pages from the last age of Myst. I must be free. You must free me. I cannot bear it here for eternity. Free me.
One of the things I find most interesting about these prison ages is that the Sirius and Akinar can both look out of the ages and see you, where that is canonically not correct. Like you said, it's kind of like one of those weird things. Okay, out here. The only thing about the later things in Myst that I wasn't too thrilled with was how... Nope, 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 come on, come on, come on. Well, yeah, I could see how the games would be altered in that fashion, or at least the game elements could be altered in that fashion because of that. But the thing that really saddens me a lot is how they made the Dunny into this corrupted empire. Where I always saw the Dunny, yes, they had their problem, but the scope of their issues that they had, which you learn about in Uru and in Ages, I was really saddened by. Because it was like, the Dunny never seemed, at least in my opinion, to have fallen that far. And I guess, you know, it's always the people you don't believe or you admire the most that don't have those kind of problems, which I kind of get the reason behind that. But it kind of seemed... It was definitely a very big surprise to me that was the case, of how the insect people lived, this it's called. And then turn, open, shut door, and clink. Ooh, the fancy door. There's a knife in that drawer, no one worries. Someone got mad at a chair. Nope. Ah, webpage. Nope, give me that back. Well, I have to admit, it did make the Dunny feel more like a real culture, but my biggest problem was the Dunny weren't human. And they have lived, they lived a long period of time. You would have imagined that a species who didn't have the same kind of hiccups that humans did and had such a long history would have learned how to better manage themselves and their greed than what it showed them to do. I think a lot of the Myst games encourage people to think about things outside of the norm, make them really kind of question their morality and how the world functions, and reality in general that makes them question them, which is wonderful. But one of the biggest problems I've always found, and by the way, I have about a 30-second delay from what you're seeing and what you're typing, so I'll be answering your questions as soon as you post them, but you're getting the answers like 30 seconds later. But the one thing I find just a little bit disconcerting in most games, in most books, in most movies, is that people base other species, other civilizations off of humanity, giving them human traits, which is fine because it's really hard to imagine how people can do this otherwise. But there is something to be said for an extended period of time that a civilization has been so stable. You would think there would be some kind of evolutionary process beyond that. But, I could be entirely.
With each page I can see more clearly. Soon, free from this horrible prison, this book. You must visit the one remaining age which you have not. Confident that my brother is committed. He is guilty. He took advantage of the freedom our father had given us. I cannot be guilty. I ask you again. Do not retreat from pages. He will destroy both myself and you, just as he destroyed the other pages of Myst. Never will escape. You must simply bring the red. The story that your wisdom. You will see that I am innocent and he is guilty. This forgotten island long ago. I will owe you my life, and you will be greatly rewarded.
Alright, Hebrew. Still don't trust you with a darn. Okay, so channel what I believe is this book. Yes. I have called this age Channelwood, and it is very different. It is a very different world. Although it is exactly how I imagined it, it is still amazing to see with my own eyes. Water covers this age as far as I can see, except for a small rocky island. Elsewhere, there are only trees which grow directly out of the water. A myriad of thin wooden passages are built just above the water and disappear into the forest. I assume they were built some time ago, for they appear aged. I'm eager to discover more about this land and its people, but I have arrived here late and must rest. I was awakened this morning by strange noises coming from a pathway adjacent to the house in which I slept. I saw a group of monkey-like people heading in my direction. They had not seen me yet. I did not feel threatened by their presence. Their response to me was one that I would have never expected. After staring at me for a short time, they fell to their knees and began to appear in some sort of ceremonial worship. I tried to speak to them, but they didn't understand my language. Instead, they indicated enthusiastic hand motions that I was following. As we walked, I began to notice the waters below were changing colors. Slowly, subtly, they would change from a deep blue to muddy orange, and then from muddy orange to clear. I was so intrigued by the water, I hardly noticed that we had climbed the ladder. Climbing the ladder led us to their village, which is about 10 meters above the water, and can only be reached by rope ladders that stretch from the lower pass to the village to approximately halfway up the grand trees. It is very interesting to watch these people carry out their daily tasks. Even after watching them for hours, I did not understand exactly what they were doing. At sunset, they motioned for me to follow them. I followed the creatures to the doorway of an enormous hut. Strangely, once inside, I found that the hut appeared even larger than it had been outside. The walls were garnished with bright metals, and the center of the hut sat a leader of these people. At least he appeared to be their leader, for he sat a meter off the floor on a thick throne. Guards surrounded the strong creature who was dressed in many exotic, colorful fabrics. Next to the leader sat a very old human, at least to some extent he appears human. His hair, which was only on his face and head, was completely gray and almost white, and held very long from his frail body. His thin head hung limply on an almost grotesque neck, and could not hold its head up to look at him. But what a surprise, this creature could speak my language. Shortly after, I was given a bed with some hand motions that looked to be talking to me, telling me to go to sleep. Looking forward to learning more. As I suspected, the ancient creature is human, but he is old beyond his own reckoning, and thinks him insane. However, the tree dwellers almost revere him as a god. They are treating me now in the same fashion, which makes me feel very uncomfortable. It is almost impossible to understand this man. His voice is very feeble but wild. He has adopted much of the language of the tree dwellers. He himself told me he has not spoken our own tongue in ages. He tended to explain to me the history of this place. The following is my best translation of what he has told me. Many years ago, the humans and tree dwellers lived together in this place, which was then a vast island. They interacted very little. The humans dwelt on the ground, and the tree dwellers lived high above the humans. Occasionally, the island was disturbed by mysterious rumblings which happened randomly. Some sort of falling on the I suspect. The sometimes slight, sometimes heavy tremors would last a short time, and they would stop, allowing everything to return to normal. One day, things changed. The rumbling began and grew quickly to unprecedented levels. Soon it became apparent that the entire island was sinking slowly into the ocean around it. Many of the humans died that day, but not for sacrificing themselves in order to stop the sinking of the island. The humans who lived through this catastrophe moved into the trees where they gradually died out, maybe because they were unequipped for such an environment, but I am not sure. This is the story the old man communicated to me. Although many details are unclear in my mind, I am especially confused as to how humans saved the island from sinking, but I doubt the accuracy of that part of the story. The island must have stopped on its own, because the old man believes the truth of the story as if he had been there. The tree dwellers worship him, and apparently all humans, as if they were heroes or gods. The old man ended our conversation today with an event which I shall never forget. He began gripping my hands tightly, murmuring something about rest and sleep. He then said we had expected you to come sooner. These actions filled me with some sort of immediate dread. With much effort, he stood to his feet. I tried to help him, but he pushed me away with more force than I imagined his frail body could contain. The tree dwellers quietly surrounded him with very solemn faces. They then kneeled before him. He walked to each and placed his hand on their heads. All the while he murmured words which I did not understand. Finally he turned to me and smiled. He then closed his eyes and walked out the door and off the narrow path behind the trees. The tree dwellers were silent. They began a procession down the nearest rope ladder. As I was descending, I saw several of them pick up the body he had fallen onto a lower level walkway and carried it away. He was laying down at the dead end of a short pier-like structure. With the use of some portion of the tree, with the use of some potion, one of the tree creatures lit the pyre on fire, and I watched as the flames engulfed him. So you're right, Parks. So that exactly is how they perform the funerals. As the strange funeral proceeded, the waters around the pier changed to dull green. This morning I woke to find it hard to even believe the previous night's event. The water is a dull green for as far as I can see now. For some reason the water no longer shifts color. As I wandered throughout the pathways, the creatures watched me, curious to see what I would do next. They are constantly offering me strange objects of affection. I even found food outside my doorway, into the room in which I slept. This is a unique race of beings. I hope to learn their language as soon as I may learn more. So now the ink is starting to change color. It's kind of interesting. And, Parks, I believe you're quite right. The Dundee are mostly human. But, again, studying philosophy and psychology as much as I have a strange feeling that while what we've seen of the Dunny is not a true representation of them, it's fairly close. I just wish... I know they're not a real species, which is one of the more tricky things, because after, living most of my teenage years and childhood years watching and playing these games, you feel like this is a real thing, and so it makes you really grind your head sometimes. You want to see them in a good light. Alright, I'll continue this. I have lived on this world for 3 months off and on, and the tree dwellers have shown great hospitality, and even beginning to learn bits of their language. I decided to return home for an extended stay with my loving wife and sons, and hopefully return with them. However, I'm sure Catherine will once again refuse. I think this age would be a wonderful experience for them all, and I at least look forward to how Sirius and Akinar will react with curious inhabitants. Catherine is staying behind, as expected. My sons have returned with me, and they enjoy this age very much. They get along very well with the tree dwellers and pick up their language surprisingly fast. I have no doubt it will not be too long until they can speak with the tree dwellers far better than myself. I am leaving tomorrow to check on the Ossian age. Sirius suggests that I allow him and his brother to stay, although the idea unsettles me. I know the boys are growing up rapidly. The hospitality of these creatures is such that I could not think of a better place to leave them for a short while, so I consent to their request. I warned the boys not to take advantage of the respect the tree dwellers have for their ideas. They seem to understand my warning, and I have faith that they will follow it. Much to my dismay upon arriving in Everdeen, I learned that Fran and her people are continuing to be menaced by the I fear for their survival and plan on returning to her shortly after Akinar. The Everdeen's Journal for more information. After watching Sirius and Akinar, I see that they are handling things very well, and I think I'm expressed curious about leaving them in Channel again for a little longer time. The tree dwellers seem slightly distressed that I am leaving. But are happy that Sirius and Akinar are staying behind again. I have been gone for over 3 days and have been to many different places. I had to tell Sirius and Akinar about Pran's death today, and they were very visibly shaken. Although they only remember her from their childhood, Catherine suggested it would be wise for Sirius and Akinar to leave Channelwood for a while, and I have to agree. They will be returning with me when I leave again. I have told my sons that they will be returning with me in 2 days. They spent the entire night telling me of an adventure they experienced in my absence. It was rather remarkable. It seems they constructed a boat with the creatures and traveled some ways out to the surrounding waters. I enjoyed hearing them talk excitedly about their adventures, and it often reminded my own adventures. I fully understand why the tree dwellers have been giving me their many inks when I wrote. Looking through some of my past entries, I see now that the inks have changed from their black. I thought they were various colors. Oh, the black that I thought they were various colors. I have shown some of the creatures in my journal, and they laughed and howled. I did not know they had such a sense of humor. Even now, as I look through this very colorful journal, I cannot help but laugh myself. We will be returning tomorrow, so my sons are with the creatures for the last night here. They have told me that they would like to come to Channelwood again, and also asked if they could come visit some other ages alone. Although I will have to think over their request, I believe that they have proven to me that they are trustworthy and responsible. Catherine will also have to help me decide whether they are ready for travel alone. For now I must give my farewell to the creatures, for I do not know how long it will be until I visit this subject. And see, this is this little channel thing here. And really, like I said before, Channelwood's in a remarkably similar, simple age. That's the rocks. I think this is the Selenic age. Yep. Okay, I have to read this before going on to the Selenic age, but before I do that, I'm going to save myself a lot of trouble. The question is whether Channelwood was a salvaged age. I mean, you have to consider that from a book's perspective, Atris could not have escaped back into Dunny after he was imprisoned in his chamber, so all the ages in Myst have to be of his own creation. At least you have to assume that, because this was, considering the games and how the timeline has been pieced together, this would be before he worked with some other people from another age to break through the rock wall into the chamber at Kavir. So, you would, once again, you'd assume he wrote all these ages himself, but might have borrowed, so like his father, some aspects of things that he had heard of from the other Dunny ages he was visited before. But it is also questioning because there are humans on Channelwood, or at least extremely similar, and they spoke his language, which you also have to assume he's speaking primarily Dunny, because that's what in the books, it's what he was speaking to his father all the time. So in order for him to be speaking to these people, he would have to be speaking pure English, which would be interesting, or Dunny. Fine. It's been a while since I had heard only silence, and enjoy it greatly. I think for some reason I do not feel altogether welcome in this new world in which I have arrived. But how could I be unwelcome in an age with no inhabitants? It is, of course, only in my head. This world is very beautiful, but I think I have to get ever write in a journal that an age I have linked to is horrid or disgusting. From the grassy hill on which I am standing, I can see green fields below along with a few scattered forests. True. That's true. The eternal wood could have been in that stack. It's interesting. It's interesting to think about for sure. A rather large lake looms some distance from where I'm standing. Yet the water's blue can be seen plainly from here. The air is fresh and the sky is speckled with white clouds. It is absolutely breathtaking, and yet that strange feeling again. Perhaps it's the hot breeze that continues to blow from the north, hotter than I would have imagined. It almost singes my skin, and I feel uncomfortably when it comes. I'll try to ignore it. Night has almost arrived, and the sunset is spectacular. Orange and reds have settled above the western horizon. Though night has come, the horizon still glows red long past the sunset. Dark reds flow from the horizon and blend into the black sky. Again the feeling, and I am beginning to believe it is not all in my head. I must sleep. I will need my strength to explore tomorrow. I have had to return home due to an unpredictable natural occurrence more frightening than I've ever experienced. I was awakened by a terrible shaking in the ground and explosions on all sides of me. Gigantic balls of fire were falling from the sky, and I immediately left in fear of my life. I must remember to bring a Myst linking book with me when I return, in case the one there has been destroyed or damaged. I've returned to a different world than the one I left only 3 months ago. It has been transformed into a barren desert land, with only gigantic craters scattered across the land to provide variety. Strangely enough, the small grassy hill where I spent my first night remains exactly where I found it. Apparently the falling meteors did not hit this area, leaving an oasis in the midst of this horrible desolation. The hot wind I remember has turned into a rather pleasant breeze, which is at least one improvement. I fear it is the only improvement. The magnificent lake I saw on my first visit is now completely dried up. However, another lake now exists and appears to be quite a bit larger. I assume one of the falling meteors created this lake due to its circular shape and the jutting rock that grows in the center of the lake. The rest of this world seems a desert, although I will be verifying that statement. Though this world is a little visual excitement to offer, it offers much to the ears. Sounds constantly flow through my ears, and I have found where the flow of them may originate, where a few of them originate. It seems, as Catherine says, I do find beauty in everything. Last night I was awakened by a horrible hissing. I was sweating and the heat was so intense I immediately dipped my hand into a nearby stream to cool it off. The hot breezes had returned along with a low roar from the ground. I walked a short distance to observe some red flames shooting up from the earth. Suddenly the ground began to crack and a huge chasm opened. The chasm continued to grow until it was far too wide to cross. Then the tremors subsided, leaving only a dull roar. I have decided, however, that I can use the chasm to my advantage. Perhaps the heat of the chasm can be a furnace. Even as the chasm ripped into the surface of this world has opened a whole new world to explore, although uncomfortably hot, I found it possible to reach a cave in the chasm that had been created. And now to explore deep into the crust of this planet, I have found a vast underground cave system that will take many years to map. Parker, you're right. They would be able to stop the season of the age if an alteration was written to end the book. That is true. That's very clever. That's very clever. And that's a very good thing to point out, though. I would never have thought about that. I will also look for a safer way to reach the underground than through the wall. The site seems to change on its own, so I feel I should leave again and see if things are different when I return. It is also important that I check on Sirius and Achenar and make sure everything is going on well. When I return, I also hope to bring back some tools I will need for my plans to explore the underground. The abundance of raw materials here is beginning to amaze me. I returned with some of the complex tools I knew I would be needing. I assumed I would have to return for more basic materials. However, it seems as though I would be able to find everything I need here. Of course, iron is abundant, but I've also found titanium occurring naturally. I am all the more excited to begin work. Everything is set, and I look forward to tomorrow. My raw materials are all here, and I think I'll be able to have most of my additions to this age completed in 1 year. I also like working with my hands, whether writing or building. And then there's a whole bunch of this is like kind of blanked out. And I have decided this is a spinny wheel with a sound, 3 motors, and a support, surprisingly strong, with Starship to be one of my most prized inventions. I would never imagine it to come together. I doubt could possibly work with 14 instead of completely fatigued. I am happy to have blah 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 blah. See, this is all this blanked out. I'm leaving today in order to bring Sirius and Achenar. I've left them alone in Channel. I believe they will enjoy all there is to see here. The age is still stabilized. I believe the meteor set off a period of volcanic activity by piercing into the shallow crust. The tremors have become few. I've also noticed that a large amount of this journal has curiously vanished from the very pages on which I wrote over the last months. Fortunately, I've probably made the constructive notes in another dream. I do not understand the many mysteries of this world, but I trust I will discover logical answers to the questions. I have a feeling that many of my questions can be answered in another age to which I hope to travel soon. For now, I must simply accept this world's mysteries and take pride in my many accomplishments. This is something I need to write down. 51423. And then 1. 4. Do, 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 do. And that's 20. That's 2. And then 3 is the next one over. Okay. That's a complicated, annoying piece, but it's also important to remember. Okay. That's why it's always important to read those books, because sometimes they have information in them that is crucial. I may have went a bit too far. I was trying to... Okay, I think that's pointed at the right place now. Doobly doop bop a doobly yay. Going up the tower, we going today. The switch. Okay, I'm looking into a rock wall, so this is clearly not where I need to be. Well, I know I need to turn the power on to the rock. But first I need to get the generator number from the tower. Oh! Oh, that would make so much sense that the marker switches. Oh, that would make so much sense if that was the case. Oh, I'm stupid. Oh, I'm so stupid if that's the situation. Yep. Let's see if I got the rest of these. That one's on, okay. That would also explain why that one showed up. Oh, that's so stupid. Why did I never figure that one out for myself? On. I think that one's on. Those are all. Okay, so now everything should be on. Oh, I feel stupid. Ah! Oh, it's so frustratingly dumb. Because there's so many things in this game that aren't quite explained. Not really spoilers, I'm just playing through the game. And so if people see things they haven't seen before, that's okay. I have all the videos on YouTube, which I'll be setting links to at the end of this one, I believe. My intention is to finish the majority of the game this time, maybe even all the game. I have it out of the way, so I only have 2 parts on YouTube. This will be the first part where my game crashed on me, and then this part where the game works perfectly fine. Okay. 59 volts. This is going to be the annoying part. That's pretty true. A large part of the game is that nothing is absolutely ever explained. But the smart messages would be nice if Beatrice mentioned them in his little message, so people could figure out why the hell some things aren't picking up on the map. Especially when they start to figure things out. Okay, out the door we go. Thank you. To the generator. Okay. So, put down my numbers here. So we have 5 switches. That one is 10. That one is 7. That's 8. 16. 5. I have never been to the Mysterium. Okay. So in order to generate 59 volts is basically minus 9. Yeah. So if I'm correct, it will be 20, 9, 10, 16, and 2. Awesome. Oh, the trees look so weird from there. Okay, so over here. Nope. $59 volts is what they said. I don't have enough power. Ugh. No, because it says. Oh, I'm confused. Okay, I'm very confused. I was pretty sure you had to flip this little switcheroo down here once you get the appropriate amount of power. Oh no! Oh no, do I have to hit all the buttons? Oh god, please tell me I don't have to do it. Well, no, I couldn't. You can't do all the buttons. That's exactly what it should be. Oh, right, you only have to throw the switches if you screwed up. That's right, because those are the ones that happen if you screw up and don't have the right power amount. Okay, well, it's still in here. Okay, so now we need our particular tone. Oh boy. Okay, so that's down 52, 6. I hate this part so much. That should be about right. Okay. That's, wait, that should be 5. That should be 5's tone, not the 1's. 1's tone is the second one after that, so not this one, this one. There. Okay. Sounds right. 4 is up, down. This one. Down. To be fair, Shuttleword, I didn't like Riven, but I really liked Exile, and Revelation was trippy. So I like that. And wasn't too bad. That was there. That's where that should be. Now 2 is a couple away from there. So no. Oh, okay. So it'll be this one. Very high on the scale. I don't know if it was that high, was it? No. Somewhere about that. Last one was doot. Riven was difficult as heck. I hated it so much. I have actually never beaten this game. I played it I played and beat Channelwood. I played and beat the Rocks, and I played and beat the Mechanical Age. But I've only been to Selenic Age once or twice, and never beat it through there because I never had the opportunity to. Apparently that's not right. Okay. Okay. Parker, if you want to give me a hint, I'm all for hints. Oh, it should be going that way. Needs to. It probably represents a hill. Alright. So that's 5. And then 1. Go figure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then 1 would be 2 steps above that. Okay. See, perfect pitch would definitely be something that'd be really nice to have in this game. And then 4 would be 1, 2, 3, 5 pelt points above 1. Okay. So then it would be 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I'm gonna butcher this. Well, Shuttleworth, thanks for stopping and listening while you could. It's mostly just a bunch of music right now. So from 4, you go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, make 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And then it's 3 more up for the next one. 1, 2, 3. Nope. I'm close, but not quite enough. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5. So then 1 is 1, 2 levels above that. Oh, see, there's my problem. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. There we go. 1, 2. And then you'd go up 4 for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. then 2 is up 7 places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then 3 more for 3. 1, 2, 3. Yep. This is going to be my entire afternoon. Boy. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There it goes. Never beaten this age. You're about to see horrible failures. Not quite as bad as last night when I was doing Dark Souls 3 and getting my butt handed to me by the first boss. But this one has to go up by 2. Used to be really good at figuring this one out. Okay. And 4 is 5 places above. Okay, and then 2 is 7 places above that one. Okay. Yep. Trust me. I mean, I finished this puzzle in the ship, got to the age, and my mother did the rest of it because she needed my help to figure out the penalty. And then this next one is... I feel like it's so close. Look, these two are correct. 4, I think, is pretty darn on. Alright, so 4 is 5 points above. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Okay. That is 7. And 3 points above that is... I want to do this so bad. I don't want to cheat doing it either. One, 2, 3, 4. Oh, hold up. There's 6. 1 is 2 above that. And 4 is 4. There it goes. Back into there. No. Seven. And this is 3 places. One, 2, 3. Come on. Gonna kill myself deliberately. This is one of the most annoying things I have to deal with ever. Okay. No kidding. That's gonna be the hard part. Okay. That's correct. Nope. This is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's also correct. So 2 is correct. So 3 is supposed to be this key. There it is. I was mistaking 3. Ah. Probably one of the most interesting ways to utilize a book linking system in a spaceship. I had them all right except for 3. That drove me nuts. Alright. And I can't leave ever again. Whee! Okay. Oh. I need to find the 5 sounds in this age. Right. Okay. Look, it's a blueprint! I'll figure this out first before I come back to the pages. Make sure I turn everything on. I hope it is, because that may drive me insane. Akinar's red page is by the humming crystals. Nope. Okay. Remember mechanical age. Oh, no. Oh. Oh, no. I feel like that's kind of where I need to be with that one. So at 13? Good to know. Okay. Now, where is... Gotcha. Okay, so... I know where the clock is. $55.6. And that's the clock tower. Now... Okay. 212.2, which is 453. It's also fairly easy. $130.3. And now I just gotta find water. Ah. 153.4. Okay, Coolio. Hold up. Okay, so it goes. One 212. And I think the clock is last. 130. Yeah. So those are the sound orders that I need to have. I assume at least. Apparently not. Gotta turn that light on. Okay. Hold up. Nope. Okay. So the first one I need is 15, which is sound pop. Water is second. Clock is last. Okay. That's 15. That's the first one. So that is the updraft, which is 3. And a 94, which is the sound of the heat, 130. It just sounds like the wind. Ah! Boom. Oh boy. Oh, goody. Oh, that looks interesting. write something down now. So that brings me back up. Got it. Well, in this situation it does. I heard absolutely nothing from the machine in any direction, except when I first landed there. Okay, back to forward. Oh, each direction you have to hit the red button to hear the sound? Makes sense. So listen for a tink sound. They all made that sound. They literally all made that sound so far. Well, forward we go then. Oh, God. East. This is three means west. Dong means south and twig means east. If that makes any sense to myself, I'll have to remember. Oh, that's ping. That's Easter. This is a very elaborate system he made for himself. Like a very elaborate system made for himself. I keep seeming to going back and forth. Let's hope it's not the case going on. I really hope they're not making combination sounds that I have to remember for east, northeast, and northwest, and things like that. That would drive me nuts. Brain is dying. Oh, there's something I know. No, I didn't want to go forward. Don't again. South we go. Oh, there's some different things. It's always good when there's different things. Hold up. No, that's not gonna go west, is it? That's gonna go east. Okay. Oh god. Oh boy. Okay. Dong and 3, so that's southwest. So they are going to make the combination sounds. This is going to be fun. Yeah. No. Did wrong, because I wanted to go west-west, so I want to go over more. There we go. Northwest? Northeast? If I actually do this, I'm going to be thinking myself pretty good at hearing sounds, even though my piano playing skills are absolutely epic. It's ping, so that's north. I really hope there's a fast way to grab the pages, because otherwise I've just screwed myself, because I'm going to do this every time and it's going to get old quickly. Southeast? Oh, that just makes me sad. I should have grabbed the page. Parker, why didn't you tell me to grab the page? Oh, that's crap. You forgot, and now I have to go this again. At least I know how to, listen to sounds and stuff. Definitely a fairly elaborate way to get back into Myst. It's okay. I should have thought to myself, I should grab this because you said the maze is a thing, and most of these ages don't have fast ways of getting around even after you beat the age, so that's my bad. Yeah, now I know how to navigate, so now I can go through the nightmare again, and grab the 2 pages, one at a time, head back, don't open the books until I got both the pages done, then I can do it. And then I have to figure out, then I have to save and do each one of the endings. Okay. Nope, blue page first. At least all of these things are in order right now, which is nice. Hi, evil barrowing machine. Really? There's actually more pages than this? I thought there was only one page per age, and then the one page that was already on Myst, which gave you a grand total of 5 pages you had to collect. I know that there's the white page that is in the docks. Okay. North. I'm going to write down each one of my movements so I don't have to keep listening to the sounds to navigate. I can just navigate via the symbols I use. I've also often wondered where Atreus and his family lived on Myst, because everything I've seen through the game so far, all the times I've played it, gives no idea where the heck they are. Did I go east again? Yep, must be east again. Boom, that is south. Boom, another south. Because you always have your pen and paper ready when you're playing a Myst game. Yeah, that's probably the one thing I've always thought to myself, is that there had to be a much bigger island than what the game ever got it credit for. Nope, wrong direction. Same thing with the different ages. Like, the ages had to be small because of game design restraints at the time. But I would have loved to have some, like, I know people have recreated the Myst Island in Minecraft and Roblox and Second Life and all these other things, and I would love to see a fan take the Myst Island and make it realistic size. It would be really interesting. You're never going to get the details right because you're not raw, but you could get a pretty good estimate. That's 3 and southwest. Southwest? Southwest. Okay, that's south. Yep, that's south. Three, that's west. Northwest. Yeah, I could see that being the case. Northeast. Right? Yes. North. Which is both a clever thing to do and kind of a sad thing to do. I know that, like, I had a lot of fun walking around real Myst in a three-dimensional movement, but I had even more fun playing Uru because of how much freedom you were given, as well as the depth that you were given to play with. Right, southeast. Cool. Successful. Yeah, Uru was my personal favorite of all the Myst games because people had the option of creating their own ages for it, which is kind of neat. But on top of the fact that you just had so much freedom and interesting things with your own Relto, I didn't like some of the aspects of it that I felt were a little bit, I don't know, different from the other games. It was my only complaint about it, but at the same time, it was just a wonderful little experience. And I was really happy when they actually created Mole, the Myst Online game. But I was kind of saddened by the fact that, you know, they weren't able to continue the game as far as they should, as I would like them to have. I would have liked to see a full 3D rendered, massive, actual cavern. That would be cool. And I don't just mean the little island that you get to play around with. I mean like a much bigger expanse. But again, Myst, well, Cyan World has not been a very rich company, regardless of how famous and popular their game is, or games plural. So it's kind of understandable why that would be the case. But I'm wondering if any of the Myst fans who are more dedicated and much more skilled at, like, there was a group who were trying to create Real Riven, which was an awesome concept. But I don't know how far they ever got with that, or if they're still doing it, or what. Okay, that's what I figured. It's one of those things that you want to see happen in your lifetime. Do they? But how far have they gotten? I mean, I know it's a lot to render, it's a lot to play with, so I'm sure they haven't gotten very far. But I'm trying to think that there was a game that I played that was very similar to Myst. I can't remember the name of it though. Yep, northwest. Oh really? Let's look into that. Do you know the game that I'm talking about though, Parker? The one that's very similar to Myst. But the name is a lot of people consider it the spiritual successor to the Myst game. I just can't remember what the name is. Like, God. Not Rhyme. Rhyme was a good game, but I'm thinking of something else. Another R named. Oh, God. They go north again? No. It was the one that came after that. Remember it was around the same time period? Abduction was a game that Cyan Worlds created, but it was not about Myst Universe. This game wasn't either. It was made by a completely different company, but it was played on the same concept of being on a new world. Just let me check in here. Quern. Quern was the name of it. The name of the game was Quern. Okay, so I went east. I need to go east again. And south. So have you ever played Quern? That game is stupidly difficult and challenging. And once you get through it, you're like, oh, those are such stupid things. I should have thought about that. Just like in Myst, where when you get done with something, you're like, wow, that was really easy. I should have thought about that before. Same thing with this. It's like, wow, I should have seen how easy that was, but I didn't because I was so amazed by the beauty of that world. Ah, okay. Oops, right. I can imagine they would. I am really messing things up. Okay, south. South and west should be the next one. Then west, then northwest, northeast, north, southeast. Nope, that's south. Forward. Considering how they're basically picking up the torch from Cyan, I can imagine that they would. Has Cyan never given a stance about what they think about fan-based games based on their own, like, not exact? I know that they wouldn't exactly. It was not public domain kind of stuff, but do they allow people to create fan games of it and not like pull them apart? And last but not least, southeast. I know they gave Real Myst their blessing, but I was curious about other games. Like, I know, like I mentioned before, I know for a fact that. Wait, hold up. I was dumb there. I know for a fact that Second Life, if Second Life still is a thing, I have no idea. The Second Life had an entire section of the game devoted to recreations of Myst. I know that there is a Mystcraft server for ages like Myst and Riven and everything else that people have recreated on a larger scale. So I was curious to hear whether they had a stance on that, because while those people aren't making money off of their concepts, which I get, it sometimes developers can be kind of touchy about their intellectual property being out there on the web. All right. Time to listen to Cirrus.
You finally returned. I owe you a debt of gratitude, for you have nearly released me. My name is Cirrus. I trust that from your explorations you've become convinced that my wicked brother Akenov is guilty, and I am innocent. It is I who am wrongly imprisoned here. Imprisoned by my father. I don't know who you are, or how you came to this island, but I assume you must at least know something of the books. His father was a master of the books. He wrote hundreds of them, all describing and linking to the fantastic places and ages which he had discovered. The room in which you now stand was our father's library. It was here, in this room, on this island named Myst, that he housed most of these books. But such a waste. By now, you have surely discovered that Achenar has burnt his mutilated most of these books. Why? Our father was always watchful of our exploration. We grew up under his strict supervision. But when we came of age, he gave us unbridled access to the Myst books. He began to leave our adventures more and more unchecked. Unsupervised as we were, my brother began to become disturbed. He began to take more from the Myst ages than he had given. Soon he gained a twisted pleasure from the conquest and destruction of the other ages. It was horrific. His thirst for destruction. But alas, even I discovered his insanity too late. He had completely destroyed all of the Myst ages but 4. I wasted no time. In warning my father, I thought he would recognize Achenar's guilt. But in a fit of rage, he imprisoned both my brother and myself within the pages of these books, designed to hold us until he could judge which of us was guilty. To discover the truth, our father embarked on one final chapter. However, he has never returned. I can only assume that he perished along the way, leaving me, an innocent victim, trapped forever. But now, you are here to release me. Listen carefully. You must find one more page and I will be forever free. There is a book on the shelves. This library, which is mostly burned, but has a few pages still intact. It is the last book on the middle shelf. Find it. This book is filled with a variety of patterns. Find pattern 158 and recreate it on the door of the fireplace. This will bring you to the last red page. Bring that page to me, and I will finally be released, and able to reward you, of course. Ignore the blue page. That page finishes my brother's book. It chills me to even think what would happen if you were to release him. There is another warning. Where the red and blue pages reside, also resides a green book. If you touch the green book, you also will be imprisoned forever. Our father gave us this same warning long ago. I suggest you follow his advice. Go now. Soon we will be face to face.
Yeah, I've heard about Gemedet. I was actually thinking about learning how to play that game once upon a time, but I never got interested enough in it to actually do so. Oh, very nice. Do you actually do you do carvings of it, like wood carving, stone carving, or is it just like 3D printed stuff? Talk to Achenar first.
Hello, I'm Achenar. I'm glad to see that you've returned to help me escape from my wrongful imprisonment. He was Cirrus who did this to me. Cirrus, my wicked brother. Do not listen to him. I warn you. He's a liar. Do not be persuaded by his evil lies. Do not believe him. He killed my father. He will kill you. Began when my brother Cirrus began to lust for riches. He stole from the ages of Myst. He hoarded riches for himself. Poor father. Father slipped away his watchfulness. My sick brother secretly pronounced himself king. King of the ages of Myst, he said. He began to look upon me in disgust. His lowly brother. He's him. And then Sirius began to destroy the ages of Myst. He burned their forest. He tore down their structures. He flooded their lands. He murdered their inhabitants. He destroyed all but 4 of the ages. Of course, I had to warn Father. When I finally found him, there was Sirius also, talking cleverly. The lying tongue of a serpent. He had convinced Father that it was I who destroyed the ages. He convinced Father that it was I who was greedy for wealth and plunder. And Sirius dealt the final blow. He tricked Father into believing that I was the murderer. But Sirius did not yield as fast a blow as he planned. And his father died a slow death. He at last doubted my brother's clever lies, and so in dying, Father imprisoned us both. Not sure from which of us the blow had come. I swear to you what I say is true. Release me. You must release me. My brother is a deceitful liar and deserves punishment. I only wish vengeance for my dear father. His murder. Believe me. You must only recover 1 additional page to release me from this prison. It's the easiest to find. Go to the bookshelf. It's in this library. On the far right side of the middle shelf, there's a burned book, which is different from the other burned books. This book is filled with patterns. Find pattern 158. Mimic its design on the panel in the fireplace. Doing this will bring you to the last blue page. Remember, take the red page. Only the blue page. Return quickly to me. And do not touch the green book. It's a clever trap to imprison those who have not been warned. Do not be tempted, or you will rot and die. Imprisoned as I am. I tell you, if you follow my instructions, it will be well worth your while. I promise you that. Go.
See, from the outlook, Achenar seems to be the most pained and troubled, which makes you not want to trust him at all. And then Sirius seems to be the one that seems to be the most intelligent. But also, you worry about both of them. So 158. I might have to look at Gimedit and how it's played again. Yes. Alright, Hiru. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Thank you. I'll have to look into that. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright. So this one is blank and last 4, so these are all filled in. That one's filled in, that one's filled in, that one's filled in, this row 5 is filled in. There's these 2 over here, maybe the 2 in the middle, and the kitty corner design that way, right, that way, and then the kitty corner there and down. There's one in the center. have that. Now, the question I have for myself is... Can I put these pages next to their book? Because if so, that's going to save me a lot of upset time. Nope. Please don't tell me I have to open the book right away. Crap. No! I dumb. I dumb.
Oh, yes. I'm free. Oh, I feel alive. And how do you feel, my friend? Oh, whatever here? Perhaps pages you worked so hard for?
A little late, Parker. I'm sorry.
Whoops. Yes. Oh. Perhaps you're seeing the world from my point of view. Yes. Oh.
Always save. Yep, I'm going to head off here pretty soon, Parker, as well, because I've done my 2 hours of streaming, and I got everything done. Positive thing. I got everything done. But I think the last time I saved was before I went to the Selenic Age, unfortunately. Dude, when was the last time I saved? Please, God, tell me it wasn't so long ago that I'm going to be losing my mind. It probably was. It was a long time ago. Okay, so I think I just need to get all of the switches up. I'm going to do a little bit of a spoiler here for everybody because, personally, I just want to get this all done. So, I'm not going to show Akinar's because this is pretty much identical to what you saw from Sirius. A little bit crazy, well, less crazy, but pretty much as mean. So we'll go down here. I don't want to be on the ship. The ship is pretty cool. I think it's all the switches off but this one. Oh no, I just was missing one of the switches. There. Now I should be able to turn around. Ah! The white page. The white page is what you use to actually talk to Atris. And if you probably noticed, people who will watch this video in the future, there was some stuff going on in the background. So we're going to go ahead here back into the bookcase, fireplace, because you know, that thing. Not that. 5. There we go.
Who the devil are you? Don't come here to Dunny. Not yet. Oh, I have many questions for you, my friend. As you no doubt have for me. Where should I begin? Oh, perhaps my story is in order. My name is Atris. I fear you've met my sons, Cirrus and Achenar, in the red and blue books on Myst Island. In my library. Oh, it contains my works, my writings. Oh, I wrote many books that linked me to fantastic places. It's an art I learned from my father many years ago. Oh, but the red and blue books, those were different. I wrote those books to entrap over-greedy explorers that might stumble upon my island of Myst. But I had no idea my own sons would be entrapped. My sons, Cirrus and Achenar, we had many journeys together. I gave them free rein to the books. Perhaps it was not wise. I could see the greed growing in them. I had not told them about the red and blue books. Their imaginations went wild. They dreamed of riches and power. Of course, they did not know the books were traps. They begged me for access to those books, and I, of course, denied them. Oh, they devised a plan. An evil plan. I had no idea to what extent their greed had progressed. Their own mother. They used their own mother. Oh, my dear Catherine. To lure me here to Dunny. Of course, I could return to Myst, except that they removed a single page from my Myst linking book. I cannot return without that page. You, my friend, can bring that page to me. Oh, I pray you believe my story above the lies that my sons have told you. If you could find it in yourself to return that page to me here in Dunny, I could go to Myst and bring justice to my sons for what they've done. I must return to my writing. I pray that you believe me. Please hurry. Bring the page. Bring the page with you.
And just like that, we have beaten the game. Oh my god, that gave me so much room to explore.
Ah, my friend. You've returned. And the page. Did you bring the page? Ah, give it to me. You've done the right thing. I have a difficult choice to make.
I wish that happened the way that worked. Um, I guess that... Okay. I probably should not have walked away from him while he was speaking. Probably caused a glitch. Well, everybody, that has been Myst. Again, it was an interesting game.
It is done.
Never mind.
I have many questions for you, my friend. But my writing cannot free to explore at your leisure. I hope you find your explorations satisfying. You will no longer have my sons to deal with. Oh, and one more favor. I am fighting a foe much greater than my sons would even imagine. At some point in the future, I may find it necessary to request your assistance. Until that point, feel free to enjoy the explorations from my library on Myst. Thank you again.
Oh, cool. So yeah, this is a game pretty much just as continual past that point. You can just go ahead and keep playing all the different ages over and over and over again. It's a fun game. Again, Myst was a fantastic game. It completely revolutionized the gaming industry during its time. Oddly enough, the company Cyan Worlds never got the credit it deserved, at least in my opinion. It didn't really grow beyond the simple studio that it was. You see games like Blizzard that made a couple good game choices. Next thing you know, they were a massive company, a force to be reckoned with all over the world. Riot made one game that was basically a copy of a mod that was made for a previous game. Granted, they were the makers of that mod. They made one game, and look at how big they've become. Cyan Worlds has created, I would say, two fantastical cult classic games, a series of books, and they are still a small studio over in Washington. That doesn't mean that they aren't good. They are very good at what they do, and they tend to be very communicative with their community. But that's all the time I have for the day. Thank you everybody so much for watching. In the future, if you're watching these videos, thank you very much for watching. Please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel if you want to see all the Myst games, which will probably be coming out in the future. I'm going to definitely need some help. I will be live streaming every single Myst game. I will need some help with the Riven game for sure, because I've only gotten a few places ever once before, and otherwise I got super lost. So, until next time, everybody, thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, like, comment if you want to comment. Otherwise, I will see all you guys hopefully probably Sunday this next week. Until then, everybody, have a great rest of your weekend.